Welcome to Charts Today, and today's edition for Friday the 20th of April comes to you from London, and we start with the dollar. Dollar had a very strong rise yesterday, and that's put it back in short-term bullish territory. Really does seem like the dollar is forming a bit of a base here. We are still bearish below the cloud, but we are just seeing that base being built since the start of the year. So interesting to see whether we'll break lower or higher. Of course, we've got these downside targets hanging over us. But on the short-term chart, we have got some upside targets, so it's a mixed picture. And looking at the euro, of course, similarly, it is the euro running out of steam, and so that will be an interesting thing to see. But we've turned bearish with that dollar strength, and the yen, which is where the dollar strength really will show up, shows the dollar stronger there as well. Not much of an upside target, about a 0.25% upside. But some big upside targets here not yet activated. But are we finding some support? This is the big question. Looking at sterling, dropped right back yesterday. I've had a few days of sell-off now, so come right back. We've got this target of 138.50, which is another 1.5% lower. So sterling is pulling right back, and we're seeing that against other currencies. So against the euro, sterling weaker. Against the Swiss franc, sterling also weaker, and against the Aussie dollar, we're seeing also sterling weaker at about 182. Bitcoin is up slightly this morning, but still holding that bullish territory. No clear upside targets on the short-term charts, so just making it quite a difficult call at the moment. The US stock market was down slightly yesterday. The S&P down about 0.5% overnight. So just holding the bullish position short term, but just struggling medium term to get back into a bullish position there. Taking a look at the Japanese yen, we see here, the Nasdaq. We see here that the Nasdaq is recovering, and again it was off overnight by just under 1%, but just holding that position, still bullish in the short term. Work to do on the long-term chart to turn back to bullish, back well to reach new highs, of course. Looking at the Dow Jones Index, we see here as well some work to do to get into short-term, into medium-term bullish territory. And just to show that it's broad-based, the Russell 2000 also off just under 0.2% last night, still holding its bull trend and looking a little bit stronger in terms of the formation of the chart there. The futures market's down very slightly this morning, so no real heads up as to which way the market's going to open. We're pre-UK market open. We were up yesterday a very small amount, holding the bullish trend, but still got a lot of work to do on that medium-term trend. And the FTSE 250, much the same picture. And taking a look at the DAX, we see here that the DAX is also was down just slightly yesterday. It's holding its bull trend, but a lot of work to do for the medium-term trend to turn bullish. We've got to get above 12,700. And the CAC Current, much the same picture. Looking at the Japanese yen, we see down very slightly, but holding its bull trend. Hang Seng was down about 0.5%, also just holding its bull trend, but only just. And the area that we've been most concerned is Chinese stocks, down over 1% overnight. So just teetering along the bottom here, downside target of about 6.5% on China. So this is the worrying area at the moment. The Indian market, the Sensex, looking worrying, and it's holding its bull trend, but still not through the medium term. And the Australian market just struggling with a slight recovery. Brent crude hit $74 yesterday, just coming back a bit this morning. We're at $73. So we are just seeing that it's holding the bull trend, still looking pretty bullish. And looking at WTI, we're seeing much the same thing. We've got targets to $72 on WTI, $73 on the medium-term chart, but at the moment we're just coming off the top. US nat gas in the doldrums, sitting at 267. Quite a lot of volatility around the storage numbers yesterday. but we can see here that we do have targets to 250. And if we make new lows below 255, 127, 131, so that would be massive moves for nat gas. Uh, Taking a look at gold, we see here that we're falling back a bit, back below the cloud on the short term. The 1 minute chart, because I'm a gold watcher, we see here we do have a bit of a push down back towards the 1330s. So just struggling to break out of this range at the moment, but still a bullish pattern, which you have to be patient. And looking at silver, much the same picture. US 10-year yields jumped yesterday, and we see here that we are just nudging this 3% level again, just on the move again. So it'll be interesting to see whether that comes back. Apple was one of the main fallers yesterday, and we're seeing here just the stock really struggling, having the last several months just flattening out. It was really showing up in the medium-term chart. So just was down quite heavily yesterday, down to 2.8%. So that was sending the market into a bit of a spiral actually. And then looking at Amazon, Amazon was up more strongly, and so it was breaking the cycle of Apple. Google also was up. It was really very heavily Apple that was the seller. Facebook also back into the high 160s, just holding those gains, so not looking as bad and holding that bullish short-term position, but a lot of work to do. Got to get back above the 180s to be in the medium-term bullish zone. And Microsoft, the one tech major that is holding on to all its uptrends on all three time frames, so still looking the best of a bunch there. That's it for today. Have a great weekend. See you Monday.